morning, Mr. Rogers. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Mr. Pittman. How you feel?
I'm doing just well.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we had chit-chatted a little bit earlier, and we went over some things, but we have been putting this one behind, and it's just kind of like a wrap-up. And I think I did one of these before with us, where I read off the stats, and I think that was like one of our groundbreaking episodes as far as the stats. But I wanted to run something down for you because, again, I gotta try to find creative ways to spell it out for everybody what's about to happen, but I try to use the numbers. So I want to run down a track record real quick, and I'll just get your thoughts and and your ideas, and we'll just go from there.
I hear you, and I'm waiting to comment on your findings.
All right. So when I look at it, right, Earl started in 2012. He started in November of 2012. That's when he started his career. He's 28-0 with 22 knockouts, 0.57%, right? And I wanted to bracket this in because we're talking about the welterweight undisputed title. So we're talking about the welterweight division. When I look back at it, Errol Spence got his belt in May of 2017. That's when he got his IBF, when he went over there and beat Kell Brook. A la how, had Fulton would have been able to go over there and do his thing. That would have had how Devin went over and did his thing. He went over there and got his from Kell Brook in 2017. Right? Let's talk about Bud. 39-0, 30 KO, 76.92% KO ratio. He started in 2008. So that's a 4-year difference. Almost 5-year difference in career. So Bud started a lot earlier. But again, I'm bracketing it into the welterweight division. So when Earl got his in 2017, his belt, Bud got his from Jeff Horn in June of 2018. That's almost a year after Earl had been there waiting for a year, having a belt already. A year later, Earl got the 2019. 2 years later, in 2019 he got the WBC. So 2 years later he got the WBC from Sean Porter. He had an accident. He was out for 15 months. He came back, fought Danny Garcia. That was in 2020. So that was 15 months. So he was out with the accident, 15 months, came back, got Danny Garcia. That was in 2020. 16 months later, he came back and fought Ugas for the WBA. So in 5 years, one of which Bud wasn't even there, Earl got 3 belts. Bud got his belt in June of 2018. So up until the point where Earl got that 3rd strap, which was in April 2022, Bud came up on his first fight up, got his belt from Jeff Horn, and 4 years later, when Earl got the other 2, that's when the clock stopped. So in 4 years, Bud got 1. And in that same time frame, in that 5 years, the first of which Bud wasn't there yet, he got the other 2. 15 months later, we're here after Bud walked away from the table. But we're here. My analysis is just by the numbers. Earl is going to outwork Bud. With those 2 big layoffs like that in that same time frame to have 3 straps, that means when he's up and able-bodied, it's strap season. And here we are. That's the numbers. Those are the years. Those are the records. That's what I found.
Well, seems to me you've done your homework, and I can't dispute anything that you said because it all seems to be very factual. Earl is the type of individual where he wants to be known as a man of his word. Okay? He indicated that he's a man of his word. He told the boxing public that what his goal was is to clean up his side of the table, his side of the street, and then come after Bud. Cleaning up his side of the street, meaning fighting all the PBC guys that he could fight to get all the straps. And then after he do that, he's going after Crawford. So he seems to have done that. So here we are right now at this particular point. Yeah, there was some hiccups in the fight, materializing, but you know, that happens sometime in professional boxing. You know, you can't have a perfect meeting of the minds. However, it took a little while, but you know, we are here now. So this fight is gonna take place. I think the fans are waiting for it. It's been, you know, a few years making, but we're finally here.
Yeah, we arrived here, and I'm drawing my line in the sand. I mean, we went over in our last episode, when we really talked about this, we went over the CompuBox, and that's like blue magic. You know, we don't gotta put no cut on that. If you want to hear it, go back and look and listen to it, because I don't want to add, I don't want to remove. That's one thing about this product. When that body work is done, it's done. You know what I'm saying? It might be ugly, but it has lasting effects. And the statistics that I went over, CompuBox wise, is already on wax. I want to get down to something you told me. I want to know that since we've been watching a lot of boxing and analyzing a lot of boxing, and since this is the most pivotal fight in boxing right now, I wanted to ask you. You were one of the first ones that had alluded to the fact that you think that Bud should fight Orthodox to keep traffic out. You know, because I was like, well, I hadn't heard that angle from anybody, like, because, you know, everybody's enamored with the fact that he can switch, and with, you know, it's like, you know, but you were one of the first ones that had alluded to that when we talked about this originally. And I was like, okay, that's a fresh take. And I was like, okay, cool, because I could see how, you know, he could keep traffic out there. Like, has your strategy as far as what you see and how you see something playing out in the ring, do you still think that, you still stand on that?
I think Crawford's best way to try to deal with Earl, especially in the opening rounds while he's trying to figure out things, I still believe you fight from the orthodox position. By fighting from the orthodox position, that puts a little distance between him and Earl, gives him an opportunity to try to figure something out, because it put both jab hands on the same side. So therefore, because of that stance, it put more distance between the two fighters. Crawford is the type of individual that try to analyze his opponent and then try to figure out what works. On the other hand, Spence, he's the type of individual that he's constantly stalking, and he has such a good jab. He leads with that jab, moving in to close distance, to later punish you to the body or even go upstairs. So from Earl's point of view, he called that stepping. He said from round one, he's going to start stepping. Meaning that he's going to start putting the pressure on Crawford, moving in. And with the good jab that he has, the way you offset that jab is you put that jab right on the same side where your jab is. That will help you to keep distance from Spence moving in. Now, this could be easier said than done, But because Crawford is a good boxer and he is a good professional champion, it gives him a better opportunity to try to figure out what's going on. And if he sees an opportunity maybe to switch back and go to the other side, that's something I think he would have to determine as the fight progresses. I don't think you could just go on paper and just make a complete description of everything you're going to do, because these are two talented fighters and adjustments may have to be made throughout the fight. So I just believe that there's a way you begin a fight. You start the fight this direction, and if things are not working, maybe you have to switch things a little bit and make some adjustments. But yes, that's the way I see this fight starting out. I personally see Crawford fighting from the orthodox position and Earl coming out southpaw, as he always does.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's a good take, and you are right. Now, given we talk about adjustments, let's move on to the brainiacs of the bunch, the co-pilots, the ones that sitting in the cockpit, burping out instructions, being motivation, giving the keys to those adjustments that's going to be made. We got Bomac behind his day one in Bud, and you got the great Derrick James behind Earl. Both great in their own right, because something to be pointed out, they're all their day ones. These are the battle of the day ones. And when we talk about coaching and things like that, like, how do you see the coaching? How do you see that chess match playing out? Because this could be like, like Belichick and let's see, Mike Tomlin. This is that's who got the microphone. That's gonna be in the ear. Who's gonna be in the corner? How do you see that playing out?
Well, I see more homework will probably have to be done by Bomac and the Crawford camp, because Earl comes out and he pretty much fights the same type of fight. He fights a pressing fight, moving in, work the body, go to the head, constantly cut the ring off. That's his style of fighting, and at it, he's fundamentally sound at it. You're not going to see a whole lot of tricks and a whole lot of going to the draw board, changing things. This is the way he fights. And he's willing to move in and mix it up in the middle, because he believes his punishment will prevail within a fight. If it's not initially, then he believes that he can beat you down and put you into submission. So we kind of understand how Earl fights. The dangerous part of it is if Crawford decides that he's not going to keep moving, that he's going to challenge Earl because he feels he's just as strong. That could be a little bit of trouble, because Crawford likes to mix it up in fights at certain points, and Crawford does get hit. And he has shown signs of being hit, staggered, and hurt. And there's even one questionable knockdown in his repertoire. And to be hurt by Earl Spence, you don't want that, because Earl's going to then apply more pressure on you. And that's what Earl's going to do. Earl says he's going to break him down. That means he wants to interchange. He wants to mix up. Crawford has to be careful when he does that, because I do believe that Spence is the bigger, stronger puncher. I believe that. And if he tries to go toe-to-toe in a firefight with Earl, I do not believe that's going to be the key to success. So, yeah. I don't know. Somebody might see the fight totally different than me, but I see he has to fight a smart fight, mix it up only for a brief second and get out of there. Don't try to continuously go toe-to-toe with Earl, because that's the type of fight he wants. He wants a war, and he believes he can prevail by breaking you down.
Yeah. Strategy-wise, yes. But the everything that I see, because only things that I see, and I'll try to stick really to either what the camp say or what the fighters say in their interviews, and then I really hone in, and that's my way of being able to interview. It's like Bud has this like this defiant, like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do what you want me to do. Like, they both stubborn, but it seems like Bud is just like that one that's just gonna bite down and be like, I'm not gonna do that. So I believe that it's one of those things to where, since he has great lateral movement, he has very long arms, and it's like pendulum. It's like the pendulum. The further out, it's like how we use the torque down nuts in bolts and stuff like that. Like, the longer you have that leverage at the end of your punches, he used to catching people like that. I'm thinking he's gonna be trying to. A lot of people say he's gonna be trying to throw in between Earl, which requires timing, which can be done, but he has to use a lot of lateral movement. Earl is he's perhaps the best body puncher in the game, because everybody, that's what he's known for. He say, oh, I'm going for the body. It's no doubt. He don't. That's why people like Earl, because he's gonna tell you, yeah, I'm going for the body. It's the biggest, easiest target to hit. Yeah, that's where I'm going. So he let it. It ain't no secrets. So he's thinking. So I'm thinking Bud, and what a lot of the fans, a lot of the analysis and experts, they're saying that, oh, he's special, he's gifted, he's gonna catch Earl between punches, and strategically hadn't really heard much from over there in that camp. A lot of people just been going by the track record of his knockout streak, the 10 knockouts and everything, which is great, because when somebody ain't supposed to be in there with you, that's what you're supposed to do. My biggest question has always been the level of competition, and since the fight is here, that's going to be answered. Those are just some of the things that I see. I believe that it might be a filler round or two, but the nature of Bud and this moment in time, I think he might be stubborn, and he's going to try to stand right there. Because he's going to try to do what everybody say that he shouldn't do. That's just Bud, and he's been able to get away with it. So, if Bud be Bud, he gonna figure out a way to, get it done. If that's what he gonna do. That's what I believe. Just looking at everything, man. Just cause to be honest, I don't think he really wanted to. I don't really think he wanted to do it, because he already felt like he's done it before. It just got down to where his children was asking him, like, when you gonna fight this guy? It's like, you can get away from everybody else, but when your children looking up and say, Daddy, when you gonna fight this Errol Spence? It's like, he's like, enough is enough. He went and grabbed another bag and made Earl wait. And Earl just like, nah, man, this is what I always wanted. And from the very start, Earl wanted to go out and get some fast bread and do this, and his father told him, nah, man, look for the long haul. And he made his mistakes in between the thing, but this is what he's always wanted. So I'm guessing, because Bud has already experienced this. He's already experienced being undisputed before. Earl has not experienced that. So I think at this point in time, I believe Earl wants it more. Like this, Bud has said it. These are things that Bud, this is like the cherry on top for Bud. So it's a different mindset. Like it's a more deliberateness, because Earl's like, man, that's what I want. I'm gonna show y'all. You want more bread? You want bigger percentages? All right, you want a coin toss? Okay, all right, I got 3 straps, you got 1. Whatever you want. All right, let's do it. And we here. So I'm looking at mindsets, I'm looking at tendencies, and I think we're gonna get a war. I think it's gonna be, man, I don't know how long, unless they make adjustments and really like dig down and really start just really boxing, you know what I'm saying? If they really, I don't see it going like that, man. This is like oil and water, because somebody finally get to put hands on each other. You know what I'm saying? And we here to see it, you know? That's how I see it. You know, there's just some things I see and how I look at everything, man, and I'm a fan right now. I just want to talk about it, but I'm a fan right now talking to another fan. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I see it.
Well, what I see in this particular fight, in order for this fight to go in the later rounds, okay, it's going to actually be up to Crawford. Because if Crawford continues to move, try to use lateral movement, try to offset Earl, this will carry the fight into later rounds. If, in fact, Crawford decides, no, we're going to fight, then we're looking for a shorter fight, meaning that either Crawford's tactics can put him in a position maybe to stop Earl, but on the same token, it puts him in a position to be stopped. So if Crawford doesn't move and decides to fight right in the middle of the ring, the fight is not going that long, and the winner could be either or. But I think that would be a more risky type fight for Crawford, because we all know this is the type of fight that Earl loves. Earl gets in there, he fights with the high guard, he throws his punches, knowing that he can be hit, throws his uppercut, throw everything from the inside, and he can be hit because he's right there also. So this fight, the longevity of this fight is going to be dictated to the type of fight that Crawford really decides that he's going to fight. If he stand there and battle, maybe he has a chance to hurt Earl. But on the same token, Earl has a chance to hurt him. A toe-to-toe battle, we're not going to see a long fight, because these guys are too skillful and they pretty good, hard, accurate punches. So that's my synopsis on whether it'll go to the later rounds or if this fight going to be stopped.
Yeah, I don't, you know, you know, I'm already locked in. You know, I'm already locked in. So, you know, I think it's we gonna see Undisputed, man. I'm drawing my line in the sand. I'm saying that I'm going on record, and I'm saying that Errol Spence Jr. is gonna stop Bud. You know, I'm standing on it, everything. I mean, and I'm not even gonna do what everybody else. You know, if you know how I feel about Bud, you know how I feel about Bud. So you go back and look at the videos. But that's how I see it. So I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to get it out the way and just put that one last touch. If you want to know about the CompuBox, because nothing's changed since I did the CompuBox. You want to know about the CompuBox, go back and check out our previous one, and you're going to see whether or not we changed up from the time we did that episode to now. We don't flip-flop. We keep it a buck. We like who we like, but we try to keep it, you know, straight down the middle. And we were right about anyway. I'm saying, you know, I'm saying myself, BodyWork. I'm saying that Spence stopped Bud. And And I just wanted to have this one last one, man, because shoot, after this, it's just, for me, it's just gonna be fan mode. So I'm, from this point until we have our get together and we sitting down watching, I'm just gonna be in fan mode after this. That's it. Like, ain't no content. I'm enjoying. I gotta take time away and just enjoy this moment in boxing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch it. We're gonna have a good time and watch it, and we're gonna see an excellent fight. May the best man win.
In my opinion, when I look at these two fighters and I critique what they have done so far, I come away with this. Of the two fighters, Earl Spence, to me, appears to be the stronger, more warrior type fighter. And the reason why I say this is because the level of competition that he's fought and the way he has fought these guys toe to toe, he has made everybody he fought back up. Regardless to who, everybody who fights Earl Spence fight off of their back foot. He's a tough puncher, he's durable, and he can take punishment and then come back with his own and constantly keep people on the back foot. Because of this, I think Earl Spence will be victorious in stopping Bud Crawford. And what I believe will be the determining factor of when he stops him is how Bud fights this fight in the beginning. If Bud constantly uses his legs, his movement, he can carry this fight longer. If he decides that he want to fight Earl Spence and just, make this a firefight, I think that's to his disadvantage, and I think Earl will catch him earlier. But if not, Earl, as he said, I'm going to break him down. Meaning that during the course of the fight, I'm going to get him to such a point where his will to fight is going to be gone, and then I'm going to stop him. So I believe Earl will be victorious in this fight. That's my line in the sand. I believe Earl will be victorious.
Yeah, we're gonna see it. This is the last thing I want to say in regards to power, because you can't nowadays, you can't really pick without sounding like you're hating. This is what I'm saying as far as the power goes, because this question is always up in the air. Bud has concussive, I can put your lights out power. So it's like you getting hit in the head and you out, you know what I'm saying? Then, they waking you up like, okay, cool. He can do it in one punch. Earl could do that, but what he's known for is power that will crack your bones. So, from Derrick James' mouth, he said cracked ribs, a broken nose, and a broken face on the last one out. And that's when they asked Earl, you gonna knock anybody out? And he laughed. He was like, it's been a while since I done, did that. And it was to where it's different when somebody breaks something on you. It's like it's over. Like if the medics, if he breaks something on him and the doc come in and be like, that's it, you can't, I'm not gonna let you fight no more, it's over. I don't know, I don't think people really realize that. And I believe that that's the difference in the power. So I would say, man, would you rather me hit you in the head or for me to crack your skull? Like, you choose. But I'm, most of the time I'm gonna say, yeah, go ahead and just hit me in the head, like I can get up. Nah, don't crack my skull. That's what I'm saying as far as the difference in the power if you want to really be real. Ain't no politics in that. That's you're gonna have to go on the X-ray and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's broken here and there. That's the difference in the power. So that's my thoughts, man. And I appreciate you, man, for drawing your line in the sand, man. And we, at this point in time, we're gonna be fans from here on out and just enjoy it. These two young men, man, are putting on a big fight for boxing. They're gonna feed their families, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be warriors, when we get to see it. It's finally here. So I just wanted to get this on wax.
Sounds good to me. I can't wait. You know, we as fans, we've been anticipating this fight for at least about the last 3 to 4 years. You know, so and it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey.
You always dropping them fast. All right, I'm gonna holler at you. You know, I'll probably holler at you between now and then. You know, the weigh-ins and all that good stuff and press conference and all that about to happen. And we gonna chit-chat like we always do. I'll probably hit you up tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And I'll be waiting for your call.
All right, then. Have a good evening.
You do the same. And thanks a lot for calling.
No problem. Peace. Yep, that was my old head K. We finally drew our line in the sand, man. I mean, I hope anybody ain't surprised because, I mean, we don't have to flip-flop and change opinions and do everything. We just try to, you know, we try to elevate the conversation around it. And try to keep it as much facts as you can. You know, if you can refute anything I said, feel free, chime in. We don't do yes men over here. You gonna be telling me I can scale Mount Kilimanjaro and I'm gonna believe you. You know what I'm saying? If you think that is, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Thanks for everybody who chime in, man. You know, the audience we got, man, from Hutch, the Oracle, the Spaniard, man, so many of y'all, man, that we just be chopping it up. And somebody had been asking for this episode for so long. Sorry for the delay. But man, thanks to all the new subscribers and the support. You know, this is the community that we cater our attention to, and this is how we want to talk boxing. You know, I think we remain respectful, you know, and we come with those facts. So I ain't gonna talk your head off. Thanks for tuning in here at BodyWorkBoxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.